everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Wow, I can't believe I'm finally filming a booktube video. It has been just about 3 months since you last saw me, and I am feeling a bit rusty with this whole filming process, but at the same time, I'm just really excited to be back and watching booktube videos and filming them and uploading them and talking to you guys as well. So for those of you that may not know, the reason that I was gone for 3 months was because I was out of town for an opera gig. I am an opera singer. That is the career that I am pursuing, and I was out of town to play the role of Jo March in the operatic version of Little Women. It was a really great experience. I met a lot of amazing people, made some really great music, and Little Women is probably my favorite opera ever, so it was a lot of fun spending that much time on that piece. But at the same time, it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, so I unfortunately wasn't able to film and or upload anything. The internet was pretty shoddy there, and I kind of knew that going into it, so that's why I didn't even attempt to film anything. But yeah, now that I'm back, I thought the first video I would upload is an August TBR. Well, I know there are a lot of readathons going on this month, but I thought since this was really my first month of getting back into reading, I thought that I just wouldn't participate in any of them, but I hope that there will be some readathons going on in September and October for me to participate in. But I essentially just have a stack of books right here of books that I have really been wanting to read for quite some time, or books that I also picked out of my TBR jar, which is actually right up there. I don't know if you can see it, but a couple of these books are out of the TBR jar, but most of them are books that I really wanted to read. So the first one out of this stack is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I have actually already started reading this because today is August 2nd when I am filming this. I am on page 200, so I actually don't have that much left to go. I think I'll be able to finish it tomorrow. This is a book that has actually been on my shelves for probably 5 years or so. I vaguely recall buying this around 2014, which was around the time that Legend by Marie Lu came out, which is another book that has also been on my shelves for like 5 years. I think I got this book after reading Fangirl and Eleanor and Park, which are two of Rainbow Rowell's most popular books. Yeah, I've just been really excited to finally check this one off of my TBR. I'm really enjoying it so far, but let me just tell you a little bit of what the plot is about. So essentially there's this guy named Lincoln, and he is what you would call like an IT guy at this newspaper office, and his job is essentially to monitor the emails of all of the people that work at this newspaper. And essentially, if anyone is sending each other like inappropriate jokes or talking about things that they really shouldn't be talking about at work, his job is to kind of email them and or warn them that they should cease doing that. And so while he's reading other people's emails, he finds the emails of Beth and Jennifer, which are two people that work at this newspaper, and they also happen to be best friends with each other. And so he ends up reading their conversations and getting really invested in their lives. And Lincoln realizes that he's falling for Beth. So I think I'm gonna leave the plot synopsis at that. What I will say is that I am really enjoying this so far, and I'm very interested to see where the story goes from here and what the ending will be, because as of right now, I have no idea what's going to happen. Okay, so the next book on my TBR is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This is a series that I've wanted to check out for quite some time because Emma from Emma Books here on BookTube raves and raves about this series. It seems to be one of those iconic YA series based around vampires, but the plot also kind of seems to be different from all of those other books. When I was in high school, I read the Twilight series, I was obsessed with it, I loved it, but for whatever reason, I never discovered this series until now. And I'm really glad that I did pick this out of my TBR jar because I thought that around August and when fall time is starting would be the perfect time to start this series, because I knew that I wanted to be reading this series during Halloween time. Yeah, I really don't know much about the plot of this book. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and read you the plot on Goodreads because I really don't know much about it. So it says that Lissa is a Moroi princess, a mortal vampire with a rare gift for harnessing the earth's magic. She must be protected at all times from Strigoi, I think that's how it's pronounced, the fiercest vampires, the ones who never die. The powerful blend of human and vampire blood that flows through Rose Hathaway, Lissa's best friend, makes her a Dampier? I'm not sure how these words are pronounced. Rose is dedicated to a dangerous life of protecting Lissa from the Strigoi, who are hell-bent on making Lissa one of them. After 2 years of freedom, Rose and Lissa are caught and dragged back to St. Vladimir's Academy, a school for vampire royalty and their guardians-to-be, hidden in the deep forests of Montana. But inside the Iron Gates, life is even more fraught with danger, and the Strigoi are always close by. So I think that's a pretty intriguing plot. I know that the series is very much well loved by a lot of people in the booktube community, but I feel like that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about reading it in recent years. I'm also very interested to check out this series as well because it was written back in 2007, which of course is around the time that Twilight and all of those other books were coming out. So I'm also interested to see if this is problematic at all. But I really hope that I enjoy it because Emma really raved about it, and I usually love books that she loves, so I'm just really excited to finally dive into this series this month. The next book I really want to get to this month is All American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley. This is a book that was actually on my summer TBR video that I made 3 months ago. I meant to check this out via audio, but I actually didn't really listen to any audiobooks this past summer. I am going to be making a summer wrap-up video. I did get to read a few books over the past couple of months, but I thought that it would be better to release this video first since it is still pretty early in the month of August. But I was really excited to check out this book because I know that I already love Jason Reynolds' works. He wrote Long Way Down, which is a phenomenal poetry book, essentially, is what it is. And what I mean by that is that it is a book that is written in verse. I don't know a whole lot about the plot except that it does deal with police brutality and probably other topics along those same lines. And I know that it is just going to be incredible. Like I said, I already love Jason Reynolds as an author, and I'm also really excited to see how this collaboration with Brendan Keeley works out as well. And the next book on my TBR is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This is actually a book that I'm picking up on a whim. I did not pick it out of my TBR jar or anything like that. But this summer I read quite a lot of like new adult romance novels, and I knew that this was one that I wanted to get to as soon as possible. So as soon as I got back, I knew that this needed to go in my TBR pile for the month. I'm gonna read you a little bit of what it says in the inside cover of what it's about because I really don't know. It says, Stella Lane comes up with algorithms to predict customer purchases, a job that has given her more money than she knows what to do with and way less experience in the dating department than the average 30-year-old. It doesn't help that Stella has Asperger's or that French kissing reminds her of a shark getting its teeth cleaned by pilot fish. Her conclusion, she needs lots of practice with a professional, which is why she hires escort Michael Thon. I think that's where I'm going to stop with the synopsis because I'm already hooked, I'm already intrigued, I'm so excited to read this book at some point this month. And yeah, I've also heard really good things about Helen Huang. I also bought her second book called The Bride Test that was released a couple of months ago, I think. I'm also excited to check out that book when I'm done with this one. The next book I really want to get to this month is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is book 1 in the Eldest Curses series. This is also the gorgeous edition that I got from Waterstones. As you can see, it's gorgeous. There's like runes all over the cover and I'm already obsessed. So essentially this series is following Alec and Magnus. It's also interesting because this series is taking place in the middle of the Mortal Instruments series, which is the series that consists of like City of Bones, City of Ashes, etc. That's the series that follows Jace and Clary, and Alec and Magnus are also featured in that as well. And so this series, I believe, takes place between City of Glass and City of Fallen Angels, which that is also kind of the midpoint of the series, and I think it does make sense that there would be more to the story in between those two books. But essentially Alec and Magnus, I think, are vacationing in Europe and things go awry. I don't really know too much about the plot, but I know that I'm really going to enjoy it because Alec and Magnus are two of my absolute favorite characters from that series. And also what's great is that this book is really short. I think it's like less than 400 pages, so I think this will be a really fun read. Okay, the next book on my TBR is The Last Sara by Kristen Ciccarelli. I think that's how her last name is pronounced. This is a book that I actually would not have checked out on my own. I'm sorry that it's like highly reflective. I'm trying to like minimize that. I think that's okay. This is a book that Brittany the Bibliophile raved and raved about a few months back when she read it, and I usually enjoy books that she loves, so I knew that I had to check it out. I'm just gonna read you the inside of the front cover. It says, in the beginning there was the Namsara, the child of sky and spirit who carried love and laughter wherever he went. But where there is light, there must be darkness, and so there was also the Iskari. Iskari? The Child of Blood and Moonlight, the Destroyer, the Deathbringer. These are the legends that Asha, daughter of the king of Feargard, has grown up hearing in hushed whispers. Forbidden though the ancient stories may be, she's always felt a connection to the familiar figures of the past and to the teachings of the Old One. But it isn't until she becomes the fiercest, most feared dragon slayer in the land that she takes on the role of the next Iskari, a lonely destiny that leaves her feeling more like a weapon than a girl. Asha's secret stories have a strange and poisonous power, and even uttering them out loud will draw the deadliest of dragons out of hiding. She conquers each one and brings its head to the king, but no kill can free her from the shackles that await at home. Her betrothal to the cruel commandant, a man who holds the truth about her nature in his palm. So I thought that that plot was really interesting, and Brittany raved about this book, especially about the use of dragons in this book. And I just think it's going to be a really cool fantasy story. I'm really interested to see where the story goes, and hopefully I like it enough to continue with the series. I think it is going to be a trilogy. Right now there are 2 books out, but I think the 3rd book is coming out, I think, next month. So yeah, I'm just really excited to check this one out. And the final book on my TBR is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, and I'm just so excited to jump back into this world. I haven't read a book in this series since 3 months ago when I finished Heir of Fire back in April. And Heir of Fire was such an amazing installment to the series, and I've heard that Queen of Shadows is a lot of people's absolute favorite book in the series. So I'm just so excited to jump back into this world and explore these characters again, and I can't wait to see what happens next. The only thing that I'm kind of wary about is that I've forgotten a lot that's happened, so before I can actually open this book, I think I'm gonna have to watch some book talks about this, and as well as my own reading vlogs, even though my reading vlogs don't really talk about the plot of each book because I don't want to spoil them for my viewers, but I talk a lot about characters. So I think I will have to do quite a bit of research before feeling comfortable just jumping back into this series. But yeah, I'm just so excited. Also, this is a big boy. This is like, I think, almost 700 pages. So I think from here on out, these books get pretty big. So they're definitely going to be quite a commitment to read each one. But yeah, I'm so excited to read this. There will definitely be a reading vlog about this book. I'm definitely continuing my reading vlog series of the Throne of Glass series. And that is it for my August TBR, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you would consider subscribing. And don't forget to click that notification bell button below so that you will be notified every time I upload. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!